Hello and welcome to the stream. Just a quick audio test. Right, the audio test has gone well, so literally about a 40-second delay today, so not too bad. Right, just, I don't know, take off the YouTube tab, make sure the stream health is good, like that. Right, so this, I'm not sure, I'll try this now, the FSX overlay, I'm not sure if it's working. So look, it's not working, the actual followers part of it. I'm not even sure if it actually works. It doesn't appear to. There might be a way to link it or something, but I can't be bothered, so I'm just gonna take that off. And then what else is there? Oh, sub goal, right? Disabled. So that should update now, and it's gone. I just want the stuff from my flight sim now, so that's good. Right, let's get into. So we're going today to fly from Long Beach. In Los Angeles down to San Jose, about a 50-minute flight ish, and then we're going to fly back with JetBlue. So I'm just going to go ahead and start the session of the game now. So I have now found a solution to my, as you heard probably in the video I did earlier this week. I have now fixed the problem with my camera in this game. The game does no longer crashes. I'm just actually going to check the hotkeys on here to make sure that S and A don't do anything. The last thing I want is for it to end the stream. It appears we're safe from that. And I've got my tablet up, and I will be using ChartFox, which is it's great. It's quite a new thing. You have to have a VATSIM login to use it, but it's basically, it is a system. It gives you charts. They've got most countries. They haven't got much in the way of African countries. There's a few countries. Oh, that I forgot that I had to change the gate. I forgot that. So let's go into the airport diagram. There doesn't appear to be an actual gate thing. It doesn't seem to matter. So here at Long Beach, we've got 2 runways by the looks of the charts. Right. I mean, one thing with ChartFox, obviously, you haven't got all the countries in some of the charts. The way it works, it searches the internet for the best charts, and sometimes it can't. Sometimes you don't get the absolute best ones, obviously, and they're not like, they are like the country's own charts. They're not the ones from Navigraph, because they're the ones you have to pay for. Okay, according to this, most of them are parking ramps, and then there's like a couple of gates, which does actually match in with this. So let's go gate Golf 4. Right, let's just turn on display capture here so you can see what I'm doing. So go outside, let's have a look. Actually, no, I forgot. I need to press A, and then that puts this in locked spot now. This particular view. So I can see we're by the terminal. So this is presumably Juliet, and then behind us is the runway. Because there's actually 3 runways. There's one big one that stretches across the whole field. One really small one. It's a bit of a mix, actually. Obviously, I'm using, well, this is FSX, so the scenery will be a little bit out of date. But I'm guessing we're using runway 30 and runway 12, which is the big one. Because that's runway 25, actually. Okay, so it's 26 in real life. 25 left. Yeah, 25 left doesn't actually exist. Oh, there you go, 26. So it's 26 left, but it's obviously 25 left in this. So we might actually be by the tower. Where's the tower? Because that'll help me. That's over there. So we're opposite the tower, basically. So we are by the terminal. Push back onto Juliet, and then I'll find my way to the runway sooner or later. That's basically, I think, how we're playing it today. I find myself a nice view here. I'd like to go with this view here. I like that view there. Okay, that should be the plane set up in terms of views. So let's go ahead and start the flight on ProjectFly. So I'll go to bookings. I want the one that's from LGB down to San Jose SJC. So dispatch that. SimBrief Auto. And yeah, I'm just entering in SimBrief. I need to log into SimBrief every time on ProjectFly. Unfortunately, it's not like just filing a SimBrief thing. You have to log into it every time. And that will get us our route for today. Let's look how the stream's doing. Stream health is excellent. So that's good. We've had 2 playbacks. FPX looks good, so I'm happy with that. Right, let's go ahead and dispatch the flight now. Oh, no, that's not the one I want to dispatch. This is the one I want to dispatch. So fly now, and then we want to do the flight briefing, which will come up on this screen here. Flight time today should be about 55 minutes, okay? That sounds good. I like the sound of that. So I can get OBS up on here, actually, I think. Actually, no, maybe not. No, I can't. Oh well. It is difficult that I can't actually see OBS anymore because of how this works. Right, so I think we just get on with setting up the plane now. So I'll scroll down first of all to have a look at how many people we're taking. We've got 0 cargo, no cargo at all. SimBrief always plans no cargo. It's weird. It literally plans no cargo, and we have 174 passengers. And then the fuel, I'll scroll up to see, because that's the most accurate fuel. 652, there we go, block fuel is 6627, so 6.63, because that rounds, because it won't let me put in 27. And there it is. So we now have our fuel, and all that. So what we need to do now, everything's on board. Oh, all the doors aren't open, that's unusual. Normally the doors arrive open on this aircraft. Right, turn the seatbelt signs on. Make sure it has the latest air rack in it, like that. And then open the doors. Actually, we'll get GSX up in here first. Request boarding. And then we'll start. I'm using automated checklists that come with the Aerosoft A320, so the co-pilot will be handling all of that, so all the technical side of today's flight. The first officer will be handling that, and I will be handling the actual flying and things like the flight control checks and that sort of thing, and obviously setting up the FMCs and all that is my job. So that's how it's running today. So I just need to get everything open. And then once that's happened, I can do that. I won't set off the checklist yet, because I want to plan the route first. So let's go into the init page and sort out what we're doing first. So scroll down to the route, which is here. So we're going from... I can't type on this aircraft because it leads to a bug, which is a shame. To KSJC. Where is J? I'm rubbish at typing on these keyboards in this game. Right, there we go. Flight number today is B6826. Cruising at 340. And our cost index today is 5. Okay. Lovely. So from KLGB departure, we're going off runway 30 direct. Okay, so there's no SID today. There is a star, but no SID. Okay. So we're taking runway 30, runway 30, and there's no So from there we're going direct to VTU. And then after that it's direct to RZS. It's just a ton of directs to this. And then direct to Skutra? I don't know. Some random... They tend to have names in the US. Like the waypoints, they make actual words sometimes, and they're a bit weird. To Trox. Okay, pop that in. And that's it. And we're going on the, what's maybe silicon, so that's probably silicon. The silicon 4, possibly. Landing on runway 30 right, so 30 right, there's no ILS, is there? Okay. 30 left has the ILS. So here's 30 right RNAV, so we'll pick that. Go with RNAV Y. It doesn't, I never seem to understand the difference between RNAV Y and RNAV Zulu, Z, Z, whatever you call it. So 293 miles, that's saying, and we've got a ground distance today of 294 miles, so perfect. Delete the discontinuity like that. And we've got no SID to check on, so I've got no charts to check in terms of departing. We're going from 30, so taxiing, I think we're going to push back to the left maybe. I'm not exactly sure what gate we're at, because there's no ground chart, obviously. Takeoff minimums, what's this? That's just some random, like, not even a chart. So we'll just keep with the airport diagram, that's just the only chart we're going to need. So now we can start the cockpit preparation checklist, and I always like to start the APU when we're about 100 passengers into boarding.
Both off.
Engine mode selector.
Because it's easier,
Parking brake.
quicker.
Off.
Thrust levers.
Idle.
In-cam recall.
And while we're doing that, I will set up the aircraft. So flaps 1,
Emergency lights.
V rotate today is 133 knots, okay?
Air conditioning.
And I need to set the,
Checked.
I'll set the thrust now to save me doing it later,
Is checked.
is 0.8 up. And then when we arrive,
Bed ears.
the transition altitude in the US is always 18,000 no matter where you are. Makes it a lot easier. No wind, obviously, temperature of 15 degrees, and just the standard QNH of 1013. The barrow I'll enter in when we know a bit later on. So now it's just going to wait for me to close the doors. So I'll go on to doors closed, and then play it as each service finishes. So this service, I think, might already... Actually, they're only just starting. So we might have a bit of a slow turnaround. That's runway... I'm not sure where runway... That might be 30 there. Where's 30? Right, let's go S, and then... Oh, it just sorts between tower views. Oh, well. Okay, so that's... I have no use of no... So 30 is literally, according to this... That it is the big one, I think, isn't it? It's that big runway there. So we'll push back to the left, cross 25 left, all the way down like that. That's my plan. So I can take off this briefing now. I don't need it for now. Let's have a look at the vertical profile. It's just straight up, straight down. Nothing particularly exciting. And then according to this, obviously flight time should be 55 minutes. We're taking 2 hours and 31 minutes of fuel. We're flying offline today, which is interesting. And then I'm gonna get OBS, just maybe it's a bit larger, and then I'll just have the basic bit of ProjectFly that I can see. Cool. I like the look of that. It's a slightly poor FPS, obviously, when GSX is around. That's normal. I won't bother starting the APU just yet because obviously there's a baggage still to go on because the baggage was slow. Set this strip to 34,000 because we've got no SID. We're taking off runway 30. Let's have a look at what we're doing then. So set this to constraints. Right, we're literally taking off straight pretty much. And then it's pretty much, I think the whole route is just straightforward really. And then it's above I'll check these restrictions later to make sure they, actually let's check them now while I've got a bit of time. The whole route literally is just straight on pretty much. So let's have a check of that now. Right, so because I've loaded in the one chart I actually need from this airport, and then I'm going to go to the next one, which is KSJC. Load that in. We have got charts for that airport, good. And then the star, Silicon for our nav. So that's us here. I'm trying to find where we come on. So this is. So it's 280 knots, and is that above? Yep, it's above 2000 and at 280 knots. At Valley, it's between flight level 190 and 15,000 and 280 knots. That's correct. Guy is above 11,000. Yep. Wilson is above 8,000 and at 250. Yep. And what's Gusty is above 4,200, and Clyde is above 4,000 at 230 knots. So that looks correct. Right, load back in the airport diagram for here now. Right, it's just the baggage going on now, so I'll close the back door, leave the front door open, and start the APU up. Because it takes quite a while to start up this APU, and I can't be bothered to wait for it later. I may as well wait for it now, and all the passengers are actually off anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So you can see the front cargo's finished, we're just on the last crate of the back cargo. So I can shut the front cargo door. It takes good, the audio's still going good. Making sure of that, honestly. Don't want that to go wrong, because it could. Let's just move the. I want to move the display capture slightly down. Can't really figure this out. I'm not great at it. Like that. And then I'll lock that. And then I want to move. What's this moaning at me now to close the door? Okay, yeah, wait a minute, game. I want to just fiddle with this first. Let's have a look. FSX overlay, unlock. And then. That's better. Yeah, and this is now moaning at me. Being like, oh, you should close the door and all the rest of it. Right, closing that door. Go back to the checklist. Prepare for pushback and departure.
Captain, the cabin is secure.
So we're going to push back to push back left. Right, these guys are getting on with their checklist.
Closed and locked.
APU.
APU on.
APU bleed.
On.
External power.
Disconnected and off.
Cabin
Hello,
signs.
Captain. We're ready for
On.
pushback.
Thrust levers.
Idle.
Parking brake.
Set on.
Bearer reference.
Checked. 1013.
1013. Check. Beacon lights.
Locking gear.
Set on.
Checklist complete.
So this guy should be ready, and then that's literally it. So get on with it. And I can see
Departure check complete.
clearly that
Bypass
ProjectFly
pin
overlay, which is nice.
Release parking brakes.
Parking brakes released.
I want to go left.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
I would tend to start engine 2 first. I'm not sure if you should,
Starting engine.
but it seems best. This one's got IAE engines, and recently I've been flying the CFM ones. Oh my word, what's going on here? There you go. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what's going on here. Okay. There's something seriously bugged with GSX's pushback systems at the moment. It's really stupid. Oh, whatever. It is pretty stupid though.
Starting number 1.
Right, start engine number 1.
Stabilized.
Settle brakes to max. And flaps number 1. Because I may as well get into takeoff config mode now anyway. Yeah, we now actually are being pushed back properly. I don't know what that first bit of pushback was about. Whatever it was messed up. Seriously though, it just makes me laugh that it's one thing I do like about FSX. It's just, well, it's GSX in this case doing that, but it's just a bit funny. It's a bit like, oh come on. It's like it's one big practical joke this sometimes. Right, you can stop the pushback there again.
Set parking brake.
Oh good, they did actually stop it there.
Parking brakes are set.
Waiting your confirmation for good
Engine
engine
1
start.
is stabilized.
Yep, both engines are good. So these guys are now going to walk up to my plane and try to disconnect the pushback tug from the aircraft. So it's on the spoilers, and that's all we need to do. No blue there.
Start checklist.
Unlocking gear.
Engine mode selector.
Set.
APU lead.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass
Set
pin.
off.
APU master.
Set off.
Ground spoilers.
Checked and armed.
Rudder trim.
Checked 0.
Pitch trim.
I said that earlier.
Checked.
Flight controls.
So I need to do this now.
Full left. Full right.
Left is clear.
Neutral.
Right is clear.
Full up. Full down. Neutral. Rudder. Full left. Full right. Neutral.
Check. Flaps.
Flaps 1.
Anti-ice.
Off.
ECAM status.
Checked.
ECAM door page.
Checked.
Hand signal.
Received.
Checklist complete.
So we are now ready to go. Well, once they disappear, because they said we can go, but I like to wait until they disappear first. Otherwise, because I don't want to just be seen driving through a pushback tractor, even if I can. Bye, pushback tractor, get out of the way. Yeah, okay, they're just reversing onto the... Okay, yeah, GSX is being a bit odd today, but... I quite like the sound of these engines. Maybe not as much as the CFM ones. These ones don't vibrate when you take off, unlike the CFM ones, but
Taxiing checklist.
they're still quite nice.
No flight.
Set on.
Brake check.
Pedal press. Checked 0.
Check. Auto brakes.
Max.
Takeoff data.
Reviewed.
FCU.
Checked.
Flight instruments.
Checked.
Checked. TO config.
Checked. No blue.
Checklist complete.
Right, so while the flight attendants do the safety announcements, I'm taxiing along to our runway. Across the runway, obviously there's no traffic about, so it doesn't matter. There's a lovely JetBlue, take a photo with that. It was quite nice, I think, this JetBlue livery. Obviously I don't fly in the US much in this sim, so it's nice to do a little bit of US flying. The last bit I did on stream, and I think in the sim altogether, was months ago. Is when we did that. Was it the 4-hour-long stream, or was it one after that? I can't remember. But it might have been the 4-hour-long stream we did a couple of hours... Not hours ago, it was months ago. So, there you go. Actually, I can start the before takeoff checklist now, I may as well, because I'll forget it later otherwise.
Flight attendants.
That's one thing I always do, I always forget to start it, and then it
Before
ruins...
takeoff
It
checklist.
basically just breaks the plane.
Brake temperature.
Checked.
Brake fans.
Off.
Engine mode selector.
Checked normal.
TCAS.
TARA. Tilt above.
Exterior lights.
Set on.
Sliding tables.
Stowed.
Stowed. Checklist complete.
Alright, it's quite a long runway. I'll have a look at how big it is to see whether I think... Yeah, I'm going to use Toga, I think. So we'll go onto the runway at this particular one here. Lima 2, yep. Taxi onto the runway, and then we get out of here. And that should be saying set takeoff thrust, it does. So that means I've set up the checklist correctly. Hello and welcome on board this JetBlue flight. We are about to take off. Flight time today is about 55 minutes, cruising today at 34,000 feet. That was my really late passenger announcement, oh well. So let's line up on the runway. And what's 1.2% on the EPR, or whatever that says. And Toga.
Takeoff. Man, Toga, SRS and runway.
Power set.
Right, off this plane goes. This one obviously has a call at 100 knots rather than the other planes.
100 knots.
There's 100
Checked.
knots. I'm glad we used Toga now.
Read one.
V1,
Rotate.
rotate.
Positive climb.
There's positive climb
Gear
and
up.
gears going up.
Gear up.
Navigation.
Check. Gears up. Lights off.
There it is, we need to start turning left now. And ease the plane a little bit down.
Flap 0.
There's
Speed
flap
check,
0.
0.
And let's get the autopilot set in.
Autopilot
And now the thrust is starting to climb.
on.
Put it down into thrust climb mode.
The after takeoff checklist.
Engine mode selector.
Checked normal.
Spoilers.
Disarmed.
Flaps.
Checked retracted.
Landing gear.
Gear up. Lights off.
Exterior lights.
Set both on.
Okay, so something in my flight sim just crashed. GSX, okay.
Checked.
Nice.
Altimeter.
10.
So GSX just crashed. Lovely.
013. Checked. Checklist complete.
So we won't have any GSX when we land, or indeed for the rest of today, which is a pain. I'm not kidding, but seriously, what is wrong with GSX at the moment? It keeps crashing, or messing up in some way or another, and it's a massive pain. Like, what is... I need to update it. I'll update it later. This looks nice. Why is the plane... We've got turbulence. Look at this. That's mad. There you go, we're in the air. ETA, according to this, is 10:07 Zulu, so around 3 minutes. Yeah, this whole route now is pretty much just straight, isn't it? It's not much in the way of turning. Straight up to 340 now. I think just as we passed 10,000, actually no, passing 18,000 in the US, isn't it? The transition altitude.
Passing 10,000 feet.
Lights off.
Can turn off my tablet for now. Well, because I don't need it. And then once we reach cruise or get closer to descent, that's when I have a look at... Actually, I've already had a look at the approach charts, but that's when I have a look into them and where to park. Although where to park is sort of irrelevant now, because I won't know what stand is what, because we don't have GSX. Nice. It means we don't have a way to push back either. Honestly, it's the worst time for GSX to just go, yeah, we're going to quit now. Another massive airport now in there. Obviously, this being LA, there's lots of airports. Got one there, one there, one there, one there. They're everywhere. Over here in LA. So yeah, 18,000 is kind of, in the US you have to wait till 18,000. For some reason that's their transition altitude. Unlike here, which is, well, in the UK it's about 6,000, 5,000. Well, in most of Europe is about 5,000. UK is 6,000. Here it's 18,000. I think because a lot of the airports are quite high up though. Not all of them, but some of them. The one we're landing at is not high up, I don't think. Yeah, look, 55, so 260 I'm going to set the barrel at. This will handle the approach in terms of setting up the plane for approach automatically, but again I have to fly it myself, and things like the seatbelt signs I'm in charge of as well, so that's what I quite like about this Aerosoft. You have like, you can turn the co-pilot on and off as well, so it's almost like real life. You can have sort of in real life you'd have the captain, the captain and first officer sort of swap roles in terms of who flies and who does all the system stuff, but you can get in this, the way it works is you fly the plane and the first officer sets up the plane. Well, not totally set it up, but I right click then. That was dangerous. I never want to right click. I need to not right click, even by accident, because that can cause a crash. I know that sounds stupid, and it is stupid, but believe me, it causes a crash, and I don't want that. That's the last thing I want today, after, GSX crashing as well. I might have to unbind the button to stop it.
Transition altitude.
There's transition altitude.
Barrow reference set and cross check.
Because right-clicking actual buttons doesn't matter. It's right-clicking to open the menu. So that means we can switch off the seatbelt signs. This thing's climb will slow down as we get a bit closer to 30,000 feet. I quite like. I've never actually flown JetBlue in this game before. I don't know why, because they're quite a big airline, aren't they? I'm liking the solid 60 FPS. That's the thing, not having all that VATSIM stuff open does definitely help the stream. Because I'm using less Wi-Fi. Because I'm not bothered connecting. I'm connected to ProjectFly, but that's all I'm connected to. There's no online network, which is, I don't know, it just makes the job a bit easier, doesn't it? It's a bit nicer. That's what I like about this ProjectFly stuff. It's a bit more chilled, and then obviously I just take off on the runway it gives me. And what's also good for streams is I get all this stuff at the top, where I can then put in the stream, which is quite nice. I like the look of it. I can also have custom, like, what's it called? Custom colours and stuff for the top. So if any of you guys want me to do that, I would. Because on my screen I can also see how we're doing, so it shows me how basically just what percentage I am through the flight on my screen. So it's got 250 miles to go, got 256. That shows how direct our route is, because that 250 miles that it gives is direct, because it obviously doesn't know exactly what route we're doing. So it's pretty amazing. Well, that's how direct this route is. I'm just looking, I can see the vertical speed of this aircraft is constantly dropping. Because obviously the further we go, the higher we go, oh, there's the contrail. The higher we go. So, oh, what's our aircraft called? I just saw a name. All because of blue. Okay. So obviously that's the reason as well, like, there's the views, I keep cycling back to the tower one, is because that's my new method of changing view, is using S to change the type of view and A to change the exact view. So I'm just using S and then to go between them, look. So I'm pressing S now. This is A, so that changes the cockpit view or whatever view I'm in, and then it's Shift A to get back. So it's quite easy to use, and it's, you know, saves me having to right click, doesn't it? Which means that this game doesn't crash. I really still can't understand what sort of game can't be played if you right click. It's pretty stupid. I mean, I've had this game for, you know, a good year and a half now, and only in the last sort of 3 or 4 months has it started doing this. So I don't even get why it's doing it, but it is, and that's the end of it, I think. We're going to have quite a bit of time by the looks of it at cruise, so this top descent is about 120 miles, and so it's about, we're going to have about 90 miles at cruise, which is good. It's about 10 minutes, which is, well, actually no, it's not, it's 10 minutes if you're down at 23,000 feet, a bit higher in the air it might not be. Actually it's 20, so it's more like 100 miles. So it's fine. I do like this overlay though, because you know, anyone watching can see instantly where I'm going, what plane I'm flying, what network I'm on, the airline I'm flying with, and how long. Because obviously, I mean, this is what I do anyway. When I, you know, look at stream, I do, you know, the landing and takeoff is, particularly the landing, is the best bit, isn't it, of watching a flight sim stream. So I can see, oh, it's that long till I come back then. So according to this, I don't think that's accurate. It's 34. What that's 30? Yeah, 34 minutes until we land. Which, well, what's the Airbus saying? In the game right now, it's 17:18 UTC. The Airbus is saying, so half hour from there would be 48. It's saying 35 minutes, and this is saying 33 minutes. So not bad. I reckon that'll go to like 9:55 Zulu though, by the time it eventually gets ready. And then obviously on the second flight, I can then tell when, you know, it's helpful for me then. I can see what time this stream will finish. Because if the stream starts to get into... I like to finish streaming by 12. So, this route's quite good. Long Beach, San Jose, and back. So, obviously, normally I would go like Long Beach to San Jose and then on to somewhere else. But today I thought, oh, why not? Why not do a return trip? Also, because JetBlue don't actually fly to many places from San Jose with the A320. They fly to about 2 destinations. Long Beach is like their hub. And also on ProjectFly, the way it works, a plane is assigned to a hub. So eventually, even if I flew this thing from Long Beach to San Jose and then say on to Seattle, eventually I would have to fly from Seattle back to Long Beach. It wouldn't matter which way I did it, but I would have to. Well, you don't have to, but I like to have a plane in its base. Oh, I right-clicked. Rip. Please, right, I'm going to pause the game. Actually, no, not pause the game. I'm going to go into controls and see if I can unbang the button. Because it's dangerous. I'm not sure if you can unbind right-click, really. I don't think you can, but... I've got to watch that. Don't press right-click. I've got to tell myself that. Because any moment, it's quite rare. Like, I can click right-click 100 times and it not happen. And then the 101st time, it could crash. Or the 20th time, or the 1st, or the 1000th. It seems pretty random. Like, that Roving Yemi stream I did before Christmas. The amount of... Well, actually, that was the last flight sim stream I did. Oh, well, there you go. That was my holiday break, I guess. But... the amount that Roving Yemi stream, it was 3 hours long, and I was right-clicking all the way through it. Didn't crash at all. The next week, I wasn't streaming. I just did a calm flight. I can't remember where. I think it was from Bristol to Jersey, maybe. I can't remember. But literally got up in the air. 10 minutes into flying, right-clicked, game crashed. It's just unbelievable. Like. I only went 15 minutes and it crashed, and somehow the week before I'd gone 3 hours. And it's one of those things, it's like, it doesn't seem to link to the plane, you know, because it's happened in the A320, it's happened in the Dash 8, it's happened in the 737. It doesn't seem to matter what livery it is, or what route it is even. It just occurs, and that's it. It's like, yep, that's the end of it. Yeah, 100 miles at cruise, which is 13 minutes, okay, not bad. 13 minutes. We are at cruise passengers. Quick update from the flight deck. I've about approximately 13 minutes up here at cruise, and make sure to buy all our really expensive buy on board items, including croissants, a massive McDonald's cheeseburger, and fries. Thank you so much for flying JetBlue. So, I don't actually know what JetBlue sell, I'm just saying that. They must sell a burger, don't they? I had a burger on board. It was either Ryanair or TUI. Can't remember, they were like little sliders, and they had 2 sliders, and they were actually really nice. I might have been Ryanair. I can't remember. As I've mentioned before, right, what Ryanair serves really nice are the croissants. Ham and cheese croissant on Ryanair, delicious, but they only serve it on a morning flight. And I've flown Ryanair about 6 times, and only the 1 time it was an early morning flight. Well, twice it was an early morning flight, but one of them was like a really short flight, so there was no point in buying food. But, yeah. Not particularly popular stream today. We've had 2 playbacks. So the Roving Yemi stream's kicked off now. It's been uploaded and it's got like 50 views, which is quite a bit for a couple of weeks on the channel. It's up there with the most in terms of streams. I think the highest viewed stream I've ever had is about 60 or 70, and that was the first stream I did. I remember used to doing Wreckfest and all that. Actually, let's put this up to 80 nautical mile for now. Right, I can turn... Actually, no, there's no point getting my tablet back up, is there? I'll wait until Skutra, whatever it's called. I'll keep it in 40 nautical mile range, I think. Because after that, it's 34 miles to Trox, which is less than 40. And then obviously the actual star itself is quite tight together. And luckily, pretty much the entire arrival bit is all straightforward. It's all literally in a straight line. We take off on runway 30 and we land on runway 30. It's quite nice and straightforward. Two airports very close together and another one there. Nice. Also, I'm hoping to get the VFR streaming back up and running next week, maybe next Friday night or Wednesday night, one of the two. I would love to get the VFR. I've actually loaded my VFR plane into ProjectFly, so we can do VFR flying with ProjectFly, which would be quite cool. I'm not exactly sure how VFR flying works totally on here, whether it's an actual help, but they'll get the little thing at the top as well, which will be helpful. I don't know what, but it's always nice to have this little overlay at the top. I quite like it. So, yeah. So it's about 40 miles before cruise. That's when the descent prep checklist. When that descent prep thing alerts, that's when it's time for me to descent prep as well. Because the plane wants to do it. Well, the cockpit. Oh, I always forget this. Whenever they get to cruise, they always, because it's on co-pilot mode, they slide this out. Drives me nuts. Back in. How can an invisible being move that? I don't get it. But then if you go outside, look, there's me, and there's the co-pilot. It's quite funny. This actually looks quite nice. Like, for default scenery, this looks good. I like it. So I know, like, the default FSX is not the prettiest game, but I like it. It looks nice. As I've said when we do the VFR flying, it's, I don't know, I just like how it is. It's quite nice. Let's have a look at the briefing, actually. There's nothing in the briefing for me to look at, is there? No, not really. So that's that done. Oh well. So we're currently, what's that, 50 minutes into the stream. Not bad, and according to this we should be touching down in 24 minutes. Yeah, that's wrong. There's no way that's true. It's very optimistic. That's what I think. Optimistic. Also, my tablet's actually charging off the computer, which is quite cool. Maintains it 100%. It's quite an old tablet. It's an Asus of sorts. I'm not sure what, but it was quite nice. It's a good little tablet. Yeah. I mean, the battery. There's one problem with the battery. When I went, like, I took it with me when I went on holiday. Well, not a holiday. I went somewhere a couple of weeks ago, and I took it with me, and it took 17 hours to charge from 0. Like 17, well, actually it was closer to 24 hours in the end. So it's like, that should not happen. Nothing should take that long to charge in the history of the Earth. It's not right for something to take that long. It's silly. Oh yeah, and obviously we haven't got GSX, so I don't know how we're going to manage. I have to restart the sim to get GSX, and I cannot be bothered to do that for the sake of getting a bit of ground crew. So we'll have to just, I guess, actually, I do forget this, the A320 actually simulates its own, like, if you go into, and then click start boarding, it will simulate its own boarding, and if you click load fuel, it will simulate its own fuel. I'll just do that. Just do that instead. And then obviously it can also push back itself the A320, but I have to decide how many feet I want it pushed back, which is not great, and it can go left and right, but it's a little bit iffy. Basically, I have to control it myself, and without any, you know, I can stop it at any time, I think, so I just set it to quite a high amount and then just stop it whenever I like. And things like picking a gate might be a bit difficult, but yeah, I'll just have to roll with it. It's a bit of a pain for GSX to basically just abandon me. I've never had that error though. I'm gonna have to update GSX because also I had the bug with the pushback tractor as well. So I think after the stream today, I'll go on to the live updater and update it, because clearly there's some bugs that might have been patched, hopefully have been patched, because obviously it shouldn't be there. Right, approaching 40 miles, so I'll turn the tablet back on and have a look. So have a look at the Silicon 4. That was all good, wasn't it? We already looked at this. There's no other things I need to look at. That's literally it for now. And then taxiway, we've just got an airport diagram again. So we land. There's two runway. Oh, it's a lovely looking airport. This. So we land on 30 right, which is the side of the terminal. Taxi off, and then we're just there by the terminals. That's cool. Okay, and I'm not sure what gate. We'll just park at any gate, I guess, because it doesn't really matter by this point. So that's quite a nice looking airport, and there's nothing we really need to do. So really, until we reach Trox, I don't actually need this again. So I'll turn that off until Trox. And let's actually set this down to, what's the first restriction? So it's above 2,000. Above 20,000, I mean. So what's the actual, like, because with this plane I can just set it to the actual, I can set it to the on-now approach, look, so I can set it to say 2,000, what's I'll go around, I'll set it to 2,000, and then it'll just go down like it should, which is cool. Because also we've got no ATC and no one to give us clearance, so there's no point. This looks quite nice. We are just literally going along the coast. It's quite nice. So 55 minutes this flight should be in the end, which means we should have half an hour left. And according to this, we have about 25 minutes left, just under. Oh, I forgot they did this.
Hello, Captain. Would you like some coffee? Enjoy.
I love doing that. Move the camera up and down to pretend I'm saying yes. So she just comes in, goes, would you like some coffee? And even if I said no like that, she'd go, yeah, enjoy. I mean, in real life I hate coffee. I can't go near it. So it's quite funny. I think there's two things they say. There's would you like a coffee? And there's the one of, I think she's like, would you like a sandwich or like some food? I can't remember what it is. I forgot they did that. I think I've also turned off co-pilot noises, because like she can cough and you can hear. Actually, no, it's not her that coughs. It's me. Like my character coughs. Yeah, look, flight crew off, and you can also have ATC.
Identified. Try back for right turn 2.
See, why would you want that turned on? I don't get why you'd want that, especially if you're on VATSIM or using another ATC software. Why on earth would you want it? Like fake ATC in the background constantly. Might just get on my nerves. I don't know. It's not the feature that's not a feature I like. And obviously, because the flight crew, you can hear them coughing, you can hear them drinking like water, and you can hear them flicking through a newspaper. Why you'd be flicking through a newspaper when on final approach, I don't know. But they do it sometimes. I wish though, if you went outside, you'd actually see them reading the newspaper. That would be even more funny. Just make me laugh, that would. And then next week I think we'll be flying the 737. Maybe with Fly UK. Actually, yeah, I think I've had a good idea. It's one over Christmas. I bought the PMDG expansion pack for the 737-700 and 600, and Fly UK. They're one of their other airlines, Nordic, fly it, and I did attempt one flight from Bergen to now with a T. It was somewhere Tallinn, maybe. Yeah, and that unfortunately that's when I stopped playing Flight Sim over Christmas
Descent
because it
preparation
crashed,
checklist.
which was nice.
Seatbelt signs.
Auto.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Landing information.
Received.
Altimeter.
Standard.
Bearer radio.
Checked.
Checklist complete.
That's literally it. It's not really much of a checklist, to be honest. I mean, it didn't even involve them doing anything. They didn't flick a single button, but whatever. So I need to prep. Obviously, unlike the Boeing, I need to automatically initiate this descent. So when the plane's wings get roughly, on this diagram, get roughly close to this little white, whatever it is, marker, a little pink dot, purple dot will appear about here, and then it'll say initiate descent up there, and I'll just click left click, of course, not right click, on this, and it'll descend. Still had no viewers whatsoever. Maybe it's a bit early, 9:30 in the morning. Who gets up at 9:30 on a Saturday and is like, I'm gonna watch some YouTube? I don't know. That's exactly what I do when I'm not flight simming, but most of the time I'm flight simming on a Saturday morning, either without what? I'm trying to think of it. Without streaming or with streaming. So it's 18 nautical miles to Trox, and then we start the approach. So in 15 miles time I'll turn on my tablet so I can have a look at the star and just sort of, make sure we're at the right altitude and in the right place. I can see it on rep.
Initiating descent.
Hey, I was talking and not looking for the pink dot. I don't think I missed
Radar
it
tilt.
by too much,
Set below.
but that was rep. Like, this thing's now going to start trying to climb quite aggressively, descend quite aggressively because I missed the marker. Yeah, this thing does descend quite aggressively if you miss the marker. I'm not exactly sure why. It doesn't need to descend that aggressively. There you go. We've actually reached the point already, so I was only about 2,000 feet off, so that's what happens when you talk too much, basically. So we only descended 3,000 feet, didn't lose out that much. So now it's going to go down to 2,000. No, not 2,000, 20,000. I've set 2,000 on here because that's our first RNAV. No, actually, no, it's our second RNAV altitude out of 3, which is roughly where I want to be disconnecting the autopilot later on. So it's quite a complex approach, this, in terms of the restrictions. There's lots of them. So I'm going to put this down to 20 nautical miles, because after Silicon, look, it's 10, 15, 12, 9, 6. Look, it's all less than 20 miles. Let's get the star up on here. This says at Trox we should be between 320 and 260. Saying that, how accurate is this chart? Is it? Yeah, this chart's again. This is the problem. Actually, no, never mind. This has got It's got 2016 down at the bottom. That must be the last time it was changed, because it's got 2nd January 2020 to 30th January 2020 on the other bit of it. Oh well. So it's 20 miles from Silicon. Again, unlike Navigraph charts, I can't see where my plane is on the tablet. It doesn't link to the flight sim in any way, but look at this. I can see. Is it San Francisco we're getting quite close to? I'm not sure, but we're obviously flying to San Jose. $17 miles from I'm guessing it's Silicon. Must be. And we're descending quite well, but obviously at Silicon we're going to have to hold at 20,000. Even though I haven't entered 20,000 into here, this is what I like about the Airbus, that the Boeing doesn't do so well. It doesn't display it on the screen anyway. It's a little, it's almost like when I enter an altitude, if I enter in the altitude it's blue, if the aircraft has done it itself it's purple. So it's purple work, and that means I can't go below this until I pass, well, until I pass whatever point this is setting. But it is quite a controlled descent almost, particularly this bit between Silicon and Valley. It's under 2,000 and then between 15,000 and 190, and we have to also slow down to, well, actually no, we have to be at 280, which means we're going to speed up slightly in fact, because we're currently at 270 knots. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but that's how it works. And we're approaching 18,000, which is obviously where we have to turn on the seatbelt signs here in the US, because it's the transition altitude. Hasn't been a particularly long flight. There's obviously we have to do the whole thing again back. So I'm aiming for this stream to be in about 3 hours long. Obviously, don't know how long it's going to take for. Well, I'm going to deboard all the passengers myself, and that's how it's going to work. We're going to have no baggage because SimBrief doesn't give us any cargo. But oh well. Absolute pain. Honestly, why did GSX have to crash on us though? Seriously. It's just like, just to be irritating, isn't it? Just to be really irritating. So we're approaching 20,000. It looks like we're going to hit 20,000 pretty much bang on, which is good. It is normally pretty accurate, this plane, with how it makes descent. We're descending early, no. I was wondering if we were, like, because of how this was. I don't think it's affecting us that much, because we're 70 miles out, maybe slightly high, but because of the restrictions, but only by a couple of thousand feet, if that. This plane has timed this to perfection. Look at it. It's timed it exactly. This thinks we should be at flight level 172, which is exactly in between the two of them, I guess, isn't it? Well, technically 170 is exactly between the two, but this thinks we should be at 172, I guess, here, for some reason or another that I probably can't work out. And even though it said we had to be at 280 knots, we're just normal speed at the moment. This is saying we should be arriving in 11 minutes. ProjectFly, I think you've got that wrong. There's no way we're going to do 11 minutes. 65 miles? No, this is saying 13 minutes. So it looks like we're beating the 55-minute estimate. Well, currently it looks like we're going to. Oh, we're approaching 18,000. That's good. Come on, get to 18,000, little plane. So I can. There you go. Made it 600 on now. The plane is actually so quiet. FPS is looking good still. Good. I haven't dropped a single frame, so that's nice. Those transition altitude, it's just set it.
1013.
1013. Checked.
This thinks we should be staying at 17,200, which is a bit silly, I think, because that's not actually the restriction. It's timed it pretty well again, though. That's down to 11,000 now. But it is quite strict, this, in terms of how it wants us descending. It wants us to follow like an exact path, really. It's quite a slow descent. Only 55 miles out now, though. Not far. So we're at Guy, and then it's Wilson, and then Gusty, and then Clyde, which is where we then break off to the RNAV. And between Clyde and the RNAV, it's a 7-mile gap. Not too bad. Oh, look, this aircraft. I also like the tail fin of JetBlue. Like, you've got all these little blue marbles, maybe dots, and then it just says JetBlue. And then obviously you can always notice a JetBlue plane because the bottom of it's blue. It's quite nice. What I like as well is like the same people who own JetBlue also own Azul, which are a Spanish airline down in Brazil, I think Brazil, and Azul means blue in Spanish. So it's quite funny. They've got two airlines, one in South America called Blue, and one in North America called JetBlue. It's quite funny. Like what is it with naming airlines blue? It's quite odd. Possibly. 14,000 feet. So this thinks we're going to arrive at 9:50, 9 minutes, and the Airbus says 10 minutes, so that they're agreeing, mostly, but better than normal. We're going to have to slow down to 250 knots here at Wilson as well. It's interesting. So we're now cleared down to 8,000 for the next waypoint, so this thing is timing it pretty well. Because it is a very controlled descent, this. I think the flight there as well is going to be a bit quicker, because the flight back, I mean, is going to be quicker, because we are going against the wind, and we have been most of this flight, so I didn't even notice that, but interesting to note. 40 miles, not far. Let's set auto brakes medium now, because I may as well. I'll forget to do it. Actually, no, the game will do it automatically anyway, but I may as well do it later, just to save me forgetting. At 10,000, that's when the AI of this plane set up the landing systems for me. And if it's an ILS, they'll turn on the landing system, but the landing system doesn't normally get turned on for an RNAV or a VNAV, that sort of thing. There you go, we're slowing down to 10,000 feet now. I like going outside and then braking. I think it looks good. And as soon as this thing starts throttling up again, that's when I want to get rid of them. Now. Before it starts throttling up. Otherwise it starts beeping at me. I can actually put this into 10 now, can't I? With 34 miles to go. Get the airport diagram out now.
10,000 feet.
Lights on.
On.
There's the airport diagram app on my tablet. So we're going to land on 30 right, vacate on maybe Kilo, I think. Kilo might look good. And then go into Terminal A. And that's literally it. Obviously we don't have GSX, so no one's guided me into the gate. I don't even know what gate I'll be parking at, so that's nice. It's very mountainous. That might explain the altitude restrictions around here. 29 miles. And this is saying 6 minutes now. And this is saying 7 minutes. I'm not going to agree. ProjectFly and the Airbus, they're getting close, but they're not going to. And still no one watching the stream. Oh well. Five nautical miles to, what's that, Gusty, whatever it's called. Oh, the approach checklist is just activated. Because we're 26 miles. We are a bit high up then. For 26 miles out. Maybe. I don't know, it's maybe quite a steep descent from here, possibly. Because I mean, the airport is practically on sea level. Wait, it's on like, it's at 55 feet. Take a little screenshot there. And then from Clyde, it's just straight on to the approach. So is that the airport? Maybe that's the airport there, I think. That's it there. So we're not far off.
Approach checklist.
Ecam status.
Checked.
Sliding tables.
Stowed.
Stowed. Cabin signs.
Checked.
Nav accuracy.
Checked.
Bearer reference.
Checked. 1013.
1013. Checked. Checklist complete.
I like this. It looks cool, doesn't it?
Flight attendants, prepare for landing.
Well, yeah, the plane's going to start throttling up, is it? We're approaching the decel marker, where we're going to start extending the flaps of the aircraft. So this is still saying 3 minutes, and my Airbus is saying 4. Well, looks like they're just 1 minute. Oh, there you go. That's now saying 4 minutes. No, yeah. And that's saying 4 minutes. Oh, they're agreeing now. Interesting. Oh, we've gone a bit off course here. In terms of altitude is what I mean. This actually looks really nice photo. Just below 4,000 now. Not bad. I'm gonna have to start descending again now. Not descending, decelling. Okay, this is now gone into approach mode, look, and it's brought up the vertical deviation. I want to start slowing down the plane now, so... So there's flaps 1. I want this thing to start descending as well. It's not descending properly. It's too high at the moment. So I'm not going to bother putting down any more flaps before I've actually been able to slow down, but been able to get to the right altitude. So it looks like we're going to meet the 55-minute quite well. The 55-minute counter it gave us, how long it said we'd take in the air, basically. So right, we're catching back up with what I wanted.
Autopilot off.
Right, autopilot's coming off now. Because I want to fly this thing.
Speed check.
2,500.
There's flaps 2. I see 3 runways. But according to the charts, there's only 2. Okay. Why are there so many extra runways in these US airports? Well, that's confusing because it happened earlier as well. Turn off the auto throttle as well.
Speed check, flaps 3. Speed check, flaps full.
What's our landing speed? I don't know what our landing speed is. Need to get this plane ready to land. That's what I want to do. And what's also nice about ProjectFly, it will flash up on the screen what my landing rate was. So
Gear down.
fingers
Gear
crossed it's
down.
good. The gears are coming down now, which will slow down the aircraft quite a bit.
Landing checklist.
Landing gear.
So we're not far to the
Landing
airport
gear.
now.
Down and locked. 3 greens.
Ground spoilers.
Checked and armed.
Auto brakes.
Medium.
Exterior lights.
On.
Go around altitude.
Set.
Landing memo.
Checked no blue.
Checklist complete.
Well, we're pretty on centre with the runway, I think. There's not... Obviously, this being ILS, we've only got the vertical help. We don't have help, really, with... whether we want... basically how good we are in terms of... Whatever you call it. Whether we need to go left or right, that's just... That's what I'm going to say. I want this plane to go idle to try and slow us
1,000.
down, because we're not slowing down. Gentle on the yoke. We're approaching the airport. Hopefully it's going to be quite a nice landing. Hopefully.
500.
Plane does like to drift off a bit, doesn't it?
400. 300. 100 above. 200.
We're quite good on the runway.
Minimum.
Continue.
100. 70.
And
60. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 5.
Ground spoilers.
minus
Reverse
126.
3.
That was a nice landing.
$70 knots.
Reverse is coming in.
Manual brakes.
Auto brakes off.
And hello everybody and welcome to San Jose. 52 minutes on the flight time, so we did it 3 minutes quicker than planned and with a lovely landing to top it off as well. So that's quite nice. Right, we're vacating here on hotel, so a little bit earlier than I thought we'd be able to break, which is cool. Vacate off the runway. That was a lovely landing, absolutely lovely. Minus 126 FPM. Wonderful, that is butter.
After landing checklist.
Exterior lights.
Checked.
Ground spoilers.
Set off.
Engine mode selector.
Checked normal.
Flaps.
Checked retracted.
I'm
TCAS.
going to try and get a stand with a
Check
jetway.
standby.
Brake temperature.
Checked.
APU.
On.
Checklist complete.
I'll go for this stand up here with the jetway. Because obviously with GSX non-active, these are proper jetways, like proper FSX ones. That was cool. I actually enjoyed that. That was a good landing as well to top it all off. I'll be replaying that one 1,000 times, I think. That was fun. Right, where is... This is the stand with the jetway, good. Almost missed it. Also, we've got no GSX to guide us in, which is lovely. So I'll just try and stop on the marker. Let's use this view here. Quite like that view. The nose view. That should be good. And off go the engines.
And the parking checklist.
Parking brake and chocks.
Chocks are set. Parking brakes released.
Engine master.
Both off.
Seatbelt signs.
And the jetway's working.
Set
Cool.
off.
Beacon lights.
Set off.
Exterior lights.
Set off.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Fuel pumps.
Set off.
Checklist complete.
I'm actually really happy that the jetway's working. See, without using GSX, the jetways do actually work. I'm not exactly sure how accurate it's going to be. With no GSX, oh well. That's actually pretty accurate on the plane. That looks cool. So looking at the load now, look, that's how many passengers we now have on board. Actually, since there's not going to be any cargo, we don't need these doors, the cargo doors, do we? So we'll have to wait 5 minutes for the checklists to reset as well. So that's good. We shouldn't have a particularly long turn now without GSX. So let's go ahead and get this plane, well, get it set up now so we can complete the flight. Minus 126, absolutely lovely. I love that. So bookings, dispatch, the next one now. Sim brief auto again, and that shows up over here still. Don't have to log in again, which is nice. So just waiting for it to plan, which is taking ages, because it does take ages. Right, that's it. So fly now, and then we want to do flight briefing, and then close off the old flight briefing, which is that one there. This is the new one. 50 minutes, so this thinks our journey is 5 minutes shorter. Okay, cool. I'm not sure if it will actually be 50 minutes shorter, but wait and see on that one. So that's quite cool. Let's go ahead and go to the init page. And get this plane. So we can turn the seatbelt signs back on now. Because everyone gets off instantly on this plane. They just basically just delete from the plane almost. It's quite funny. So let's just start planning again now. So, you know, we've done one. On to the next one, I guess. So we're going from KSJC. Where's K? KS. Actually, let's turn off the clock as well. There we go. KSJC to KLGB. And today we are B6825. Cost index, I'm guessing, is 5 again. It is. And cruise altitude today is 330. So 1,000 feet lower than earlier. And we are having a stay down star today. Okay, cool. So we are going off runway 12 left. So the same runway that we landed on, we're taking off from. Yes. And we are using Techie 3 as far as a bay. There you go. And from there, so it's going to be a bit of a longer flight, this one, I think. A bit longer than the... It's about 30 miles longer, I think, because of the route we're taking. So it's direct to Burgle. Well, that's nice. They've named a waypoint Burgle. Do loads of people get burgled there? Direct to ELLBC, whatever word that spells. I can't work that out. And then it's the Pacific 2 arrival on runway ILS. Oh, we get an ILS. That's nice on the Pacific 2. And transition, nothing. Okay. 329 miles. That's exactly what I want.
All passengers have left the plane.
They left ages ago. Okay. Or was that the checklist just resetting? Probably, wasn't it? That was too funny. So that's the route all planned in. 329 miles, which is exactly what I wanted. Good. Let's go to the SID and have a look. Because I don't need the ground chart. It's going to be very simple. Literally push back and then straight off, basically. Techie 3. That's the one we're on. And it is taking off from here to... Actually, no, it's straight off, isn't it? It's straight off in the other direction. So it's just literally under 13... No, it's at above 13,000 at Techie. That's a very quick climb to 13,000. And then we go on to a bay, which is no other... There's literally no other restrictions. That's cool. So in terms of the actual route, very little restrictions at all. It's the star that's going to be a bit more of an interesting thing, because that one involves us going past the airport. There's another discount there. No, I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed to delete it, apparently. Alright, I'll delete the manual waypoint then, because I don't want that. That's better. But then, so we are having to loop round the airport, that's what's added the extra 30 miles, basically, is the fact we have to loop round the airport. And there's lots of restrictions, but I will check that later. For now, let's get this plane loaded. So how many passengers have we got today? We have 180. We are full. Maxed out. Cool. No cargo. I have to enter that in again, maybe. And then the fuel we'll have a bit more, because actually, no, it's a shorter flight, we'll have less. We have 5.21. That's a lot less fuel. So I'll start loading the fuel and start boarding. That will take its time. Checklist. Start.
Cockpit preparation checklist.
Engine master. Selector.
Cool.
Check normal.
Parking brake.
Off.
Thrust levers.
Idle.
ECAM recall.
Checked.
Anti-skid.
On.
Emergency lights.
Checked and armed.
No smoking signs.
On.
Air condition.
Checked.
Ventilation panel.
Is checked.
Fuel pumps.
Set on.
Why are fuel pumps going on? Stupid game.
Checklist complete.
We're refueling. The fuel pumps can't go. Actually, no, we finished refueling anyway. We're just going to wait on the boarding now. The boarding's going to take ages. To do all 180 passengers. We've only done 32, so that's interesting. Also, the APU's on, isn't it? It's already on. Okay. Because this game, for some reason, this plane likes staying on APU power at airports, which I can't really understand. Actually, I also need to change the settings, don't I? So I need to go options, and then checklist. GSX push? No. I need to select no now because of the fact that the GSX has crashed, so I want a manual departure instead. Oh wow. Seriously, why did GSX have to crash? I'm just lucky in the Boeing it doesn't have a method of boarding passengers like this. Luckily this plane does. I click start boarding and then it does it automatically. And it does like it would in real life, which is there's no vehicles or anything about, but better than nothing. Let's have a check at the stream. Nothing's going on, is there? Literally straight up to 330. Stay there, then back down. It's quite an interesting departure. No, not departure, arrival. And it had added 30 miles onto the journey, but doesn't really matter, does it? Instead of 293, it's 329. So it's added like 36 miles on. There's not a massive amount. Just waiting here now, basically, isn't it? Just waiting for this to get on with it. It's cool having the jetway there, though. That almost never works. Actually, I can change this back to the starboard now. That's literally it. The plane is prepped for departure once everyone... The APU's even on, so we don't even need to bother with that. I just need to wait for every single person to get on. So it's quite a quick turnaround. 20-minute turnaround, you know. Quite quick. So we're heading back to Long Beach, which is where we started earlier today. And I'll probably end up parking in the same gate. Just, I don't know. I can't even remember what the gate looked like. Oh well. These passengers are taking their time. Come on, get on, passengers. Hurry up. So this stream should be about 3 hours long, which is exactly what I wanted. that was the plan. Starting 8:30 and then finishing for about 11:30, 11:45. That's the plan. And hopefully we can stick to that plan. So 102 passengers are on board, so almost everyone is on board for now. Is the checklist just saying closed doors? Yeah. Need to wait for everyone to get on and then we can leave. That parking was pretty good. I know I did it from the nose cam, but it is actually pretty good parking, isn't it? That I'm so taking a photo of that. Still getting lag on the ground, look. It's not as bad as when we have GSX, but it's still there. I don't understand why the... And then inside it's absolutely fine, inside the cockpit. Oh well. For some reason the game says we're only getting 33 FPS. It feels a bit higher than that. Still no one's watched the stream. Why is it so quiet today? Unusual for it to be that quiet. Oh well. I guess everyone's tired after Christmas or something. I just heard a noise. Was that like it completing? No, maybe it's just me. Because we've still got, what's that, 50 passengers to go. They're not quick at boarding, this lot. Come on, hurry down the tunnel, get on the plane. This is the final boarding call for flight JetBlue 825 to Long Beach, LA. Hurry up or we'll leave without you. We've got a full plane, that doesn't help. We have literally got a full plane, like 180 out of 180. And the fueling was so quick as well, because for some reason we're taking like a whole ton a bit less of fuel. Taking a lot less fuel today on the return. So we've got how long left? 30 passengers, yes, 30. Come on, you guys. Hurry up, you little passengers. Come on. And then we'll be doing our own pushback. Let's have a look. So, it's quite a distance back, isn't it? And then we're taxiing all the way down onto that taxiway and then away. It's quite a long runway, so I think I'll still use toga power. Easier. So, got how long? So, come on guys, hurry up, you little passengers. 18, 17, okay, we're almost full. I suppose I can't, like, feel this plane weighing down. It's a heavy plane with 180 passengers on it. JetBlue are making a fortune on this, absolutely full. Think of all the sandwiches they're going to sell, the overpriced sandwiches that cost $10. Got no clue how much they cost, but they're definitely overpriced because it's airline food. And I think EasyJet are the only airline I've ever come across that have actually got cheap food on board. EasyJet have quite nice food, and it is quite cheap. Like for a cup of hot chocolate, it was like £1.50, which is decent. I mean, you know, you could pay that price on the earth. I mean, it is instant hot chocolate, but it's actually tasty. I really like it. Right, are they going to be boarded now? We've got 3 more. Come on. Final boarding call. And the gate's almost closing. Oh, the gate is closed. 180. cool. Right. Off with the door. Door is shut and
All passengers are aboard.
there we go, they've just told me all passengers are aboard, so I will then
Before
Control
start
J.
checklist.
bye-bye jetway.
Windows and doors.
Closed and locked.
APU.
APU on.
APU bleed.
Set on.
External power.
Disconnected and off.
Cabin signs.
On.
Thrust levers.
Idle.
Parking brake.
Set on.
Bearer reference.
Checked. 10.
Oh, that reminds me, I haven't actually set up any of this, look.
1013. Check. Beacon lights.
Set on.
Checklist complete.
I haven't set up any of this. Rep. Still need to set up all of this. Because I haven't. That's better. Start and push. Right, how does this... We're going to do it straight, I think. That's easier. Right. Let's try 100 feet. I think I can stop
Flight
it.
deck to ground.
Go ahead, sir.
I think I can stop it if it goes
Ground,
too
we
far.
have ATC clearance for push and start. Please confirm ground equipment and services are clear.
Roger.
This is what's cool, look. It's almost like having GSX. It's just not GSX. How long does it take to remove all the stuff?
Roger, sir. Please release your parking brakes.
Parking brakes released.
Right, time to go.
Back, you can start both engines at your discretion, Captain.
Okay.
I'm hoping I can stop the... Yeah, this thinks we should start engine 2 first.
Starting engine 2.
I really, really hope that I haven't set this to, like, way too far, because I don't think I can turn it off. I don't want to end up, like, on the runway or something. I'm rubbish at judging it, that's the problem. Absolutely useless at judging it.
Starting number 1.
Oh, was that it? Was that literally it? Oh. That was it, wasn't it? Right, I use Shift P to keep going. Oh, wow. Yeah, that was not far. 100 feet was less than I thought. That was pretty stupid. Well, yeah, I'll just press Shift P and do it myself. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That was pretty stupid, wasn't it? It wasn't pretty stupid, it was really stupid.
Engine 1 is stabilized.
That's a good start on both engines, that's nice. Ugh. So this is how far we should have pushed back. Basically, a lot further. A lot further. That was a joke. Absolute joke. I don't want the back of the back wheels to go off, so... About here.
And pushback is complete, Captain. Please set your parking brakes.
Parking brakes are set.
Okay then, Captain. Tow bar disconnected. You know steering pin is removed. All clear. Signal on the right. Have a good run, sir.
Right, so I don't have to wait a bit for everything to disconnect. And then they start this checklist.
After start checklist.
I'm not going to do the rudder because I have to right click to access the rudder. I don't want
Set.
to.
APU bleed.
Set off.
APU master.
Set off.
Ground spoilers.
Set.
Rudder trim.
Checked 0.
Pitch trim.
And set flaps 1 as well,
Checked.
so get the plane ready for
Flight
takeoff. They're tested.
Flaps.
Flaps 1.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Ecam status.
Checked.
Ecam door page.
Checked.
Hand signal.
Received.
Checklist complete.
Right, off we go. On our way to Long Beach. From here in San Jose. Second flight of the day. Looking on course, looking good for the 3-hour flight, for the 3-hour stream time. So basically a full turn.
Taxiing checklist.
No flight.
Set on.
Brake check.
Pedal press. Checked 0.
Check. Auto brakes.
Max.
Takeoff data.
50-minute flight, that's saying. 50 minutes.
Checked.
Flight instruments.
Checked.
Check. TO config.
Checked no blue.
Checklist complete.
Knots, that's our taxi speed. I'll go down to a little bit further. It is. Start the full takeoff checklist.
Flight attendants, seats for takeoff. Checked.
Brake fans.
So this next exit here, this
Engine
next
mode
one.
selector.
Checked normal.
TCAS.
TARA, tilt above.
Exterior lights.
Set on.
Sliding tables.
Stowed.
Stowed. Checklist complete.
Right, let's taxi onto the runway. Taxi on to 30 right, 12 left, and time for us to take off into the sky. Lining up on the runway. And 1.2% on the EPR. And toga.
Takeoff. Man, toga, and SRS.
Power set.
There's 100 knots.
Check.
Speed 1.
And V1.
Rotate.
Rotate. And off we go. We're in the air.
Climb.
Gear up.
Gear up.
Navigation.
Check.
Gear's gone up. Good.
Gears up. Lights off.
Flap 0.
Flap
Speed
0
flap
set.
0.
And he's the plane down. And autopilot in and
Autopilot
down
on.
to thrust climb mode.
Climb thrust. And the after takeoff checklist.
Engine mode selector.
Check normal.
Spoilers.
Disarmed.
Flaps.
Check retracted.
Landing gear.
Gear up, lights off.
Exterior lights.
Set off.
Tax.
Both on.
Anti-ice.
Off.
TCAS.
Checked.
Altimeter.
1013.
1013. Checked. Checklist complete.
Cool. That is our departure. It's gone good. Cool. Just passing 5,000 feet currently. Haven't hit any turbulence, unlike in Long Beach, yet. Hopefully we don't hit any more turbulence, that'd be nice. And obviously there's no GSX to crash this time. We need to be above 13,000 at Techie, so it's it's reasonably fast ascent from an airport. And obviously at 18,000, seatbelt signs come off. 10,000, we're going to start going faster. This thinks we will land about 20 past 11, which sounds good. Sounds very good. Which means this stream should be finished for about 11:45. And I can also, I can get rid of the SID on here, because it's not needed anymore. And I'll type in on here, KLGB. Go. And that is that. So, get the stars up on here. I won't have a look at them yet. I'll have a look at them once we're in the air, cruising.
Off.
Cool. That's about it, isn't it? So, and we look like we're going to meet the above 13,000 quite easily. And again, it's basically just an entirely straight route until we reach Long Beach, and then it's a massive curve round. As we pass 13,000, so we have met 13,000 in time for Techie, so that's absolutely fine. Only 5 minutes into the flight, so it is a slightly quicker ascent than usual then, definitely. And then at 18,000, seatbelt signs go off, and we can chill out a little bit then, and go straight to our cruising altitude of 33,000 feet, where we'll stay for a reasonable amount of time, don't know how long. Just a reasonable amount of time. And we should be landing, this thing's about 10 past 11, add 5 minutes, add 5 minutes onto that, about 11:15, so this stream should be finished for about maybe 11:35, so pretty good, pretty good. Like the sound of that. So I don't know how I do it. I managed to plan these streams to last about 3 hours, and I do it by total accident. I want them to last 3 hours, and magically they last 3 hours. But as I've said, it's totally by accident that they last that long. Total accident. So there's Techie, and we're well above 13,000. There was no problem there. Little turn. And once that turn is complete, that's when I'll turn off the seatbelt signs.
Arrow reference set and cross check.
Check.
So we're still turning at the moment. Wait for the plane to be settled. It just feels that slightly diagonally off course there. There we go. So, off the seatbelts. So we're climbing up quite well now. How long left of the flight? 295 miles. Pretty nice. 12,000 feet time. We will be up at our cruising altitude for today. Still no one watching, is there? Nope. I wonder why it's so quiet today. What's going on? Is there some like special event that I don't know about? Nothing's mentioned on the calendar that I have, although my calendar doesn't appear to have any dates or anything like that on it. "10,000 feet to go to cruise." That means the contrail should start forming about now. There it is. You can see the contrails just started forming. It's cool. So about 40 miles until top of climb according to this. Climb to cruise level, this is saying. Good. So this is saying now that we should be landing at 11:05. And so that'll be, when we were at cruise, it said like 9:45, didn't it? And then by the time we actually landed, it was 9:53. So add 8 minutes, roughly, onto what it says when we reach cruise. So I reckon we'll be landing about 11:10, which sounds good. About 10 past, 11:15. Means I've timed this pretty well, somehow. Again. I literally just went on to ProjectFly and I was like, where do they fly this within roughly an hour? But then I was like, oh, San Jose is quite close. Alright, we'll pick that. Because I could have picked Las Vegas. There was some other San Francisco airports I could have picked. Could have gone from a different airport, but I'm, nah, why not? Felt like doing a bit of JetBlue flying today. Don't know why. No clue why. It's pretty random, really. It's just like, oh, why not? Why not JetBlue? So we are just basically just climbing, aren't we? In this lovely little JetBlue plane. 28,000 feet we've just passed. So not long now until we reach, and 11:02 is our current ETA now. So I won't know until we're at cruise and the plane has properly settled into its cruise speed exactly what time we'll be arriving. Because that goes on our that goes just off our speed, so it's not accurate. That, the thing that's up there, I can't reach it. There, it's there on the screen. So that's based on speed. That's our vertical speed. That's actual speed, heading, altitude, registration of the aircraft, what network they're flying on, arrival and departure aircraft, airports, and the call sign. So that's all of that. Cool. I was very happy with that -126 land. I doubt we can do another proper nice one. I'll try. Because that was a good landing. But the chances of doing it again? Nah. Probably not. There we go. Now we're up to 30,000 feet. This thing starts to just crawl like a snail at its climbing speed. It's so slow. Really slow. Hurry up. Right, I'll set the barrow for arrival now. What altitude are we at? 31. So that's 230 I'll set as the minimums. Cool, that's that set then. Still climbing. These planes are, it is slow at climbing. I'll say that. But it's not far now to 33,000. And that's now saying our ETA is exactly 11 o'clock, so we'll definitely be down for 10 past 11 at this rate. Actually, no, it's just gone to 11:01 now, nice. It's flickering between the two, I think. Our speed will drop off slightly now, because the speed of the aircraft does drop slightly once we reach cruise. I was wondering about cost indexes on SimBrief. Looks like they've got cost index data for most aircraft, haven't they? So I think it might not be cost index per aircraft. I think it's like cost. I don't know. It's not very clear, is it? There you go. I've just checked that and it doesn't reveal much. Right. So yeah, we've dropped down to 4. So it looks about 11:01. This is saying our ETA will be, and we have 120 miles at cruise, so a little bit longer than last time. Let's go ahead and check the arrival. So Pacific 2. Let's have a look. So we're starting the SID. No, we're starting it at ELLBC. Actually, no, we're joining it at. See following page for arrival routes. Well, that's helpful. There you go. That's it there. Continue on. That's the one here. This is the page we want. So it's above 2,000 at Pacific, yeah. Above 17,000 at Crane. Above 14,000 at SIP. Between 14 and 13,000 at Tandy. No restrictions at OC. Stiff is below 9,000. Kane is below 7,000. LAXP is below 5,000. Olbus is below 4,000. That's actually at 4,000, not below 4,000. And then ESCAL is above 4,000. And then the ILS is above 3,000. And then 1,600. And then land. Okay, so it's a pretty straightforward, it's basically a curve, isn't it? It's cool. And then once we're there, we land on runway 30, yeah? Yeah. I'm now waiting for this to load, because it's slow. There you go. Please, airport diagram, just load. The airport diagram does not want to load. It was in my deck earlier and it was loading fine. Please. Load for me, please. There you go. Airport diagram's loaded, so... Land on 30, vacates... X-ray maybe, Bravo, and then come back down, X-ray and then Kilo, and then Charlie to the terminal. Okay. Sounds good. Start, and then I want to go Pacific 2. It's been very slow today. Here you go, that's better. That's better. Right, and then I will see to that when we get closer to the descent in 10 minutes. Cool. This waypoint is literally called eBay. That's literally the name of it. eBay. Oh, whatever. And then Burgle. Not so... If you go the other way, the sequence of this waypoint would literally be Burgle eBay. This is stupid. Oh, whatever. I don't know, the way they name waypoints in the US, they all have names and they tend to link sometimes. Like, look, Pacific, Crane, Sip. So Crane having a drink from the Pacific. Got OC. I'm not sure what the others are. Maybe they're a bit more... Like, if you're local, you understand them. Because I don't. But it's quite funny that they do, like... They have actual word names. It's quite cool. This place lovely. And no one's watching it, are they? No. Oh well. So we should be in about 10 past 11, half hour's time, so that's a 50-minute flight, which is what was planned. This plane. Lovely little plane, this. I don't know, it is a nice looking plane, I think. That's A320. Shame to have no GSX, isn't it? It's just like, nice. Nice. Actually, so I'll have a look at the actual route itself. Look, so we do come in, then it's a massive curve, basically. If I zoom in a bit more, it is just a massive curve. The arrival, basically. Next waypoint, 39 miles away. It's fine. We're going to be latching on to the arrival in like 70 miles time. So the arrival, we're going to start descent then in roughly the normal place. Which means the arrival is not affecting us too much in terms of slowing us down speed-wise, not. Because I don't think there's actually any speed restrictions, are there? Until you get to the ILS, there might be some. No, there's not a single one. It's just altitude restrictions. I'm going to set the... What's the actual... The ILS is it above 3,000? What's the go-around altitude as well? So I'll set it to 3,000, the altitude, when it gets to that point. Still got another 70 miles, which is 10 minutes, according to this. 9 minutes. cool. But yeah, I'm enjoying this little route. I don't know what other routes JetBlue do, but I think they do quite a bit, don't they? I like it as well. Like, this is what's nice about in ProjectFly. Look, I can have the display all the way down at the bottom, and then that black strip at the top is actually covered by something, so it doesn't just look stupid, which is nice. So, yeah, ETA. Oh, it's gone to 11. Why is the ETA gone to 11:02? We've slowed down. That's why. Must be to do with the direction we're facing. We turn a bit after. I can't work out what word that is. I honestly can't. Right, I'm gonna go onto Google and search on dictionary. Like, what word actually starts like that? Search for a word. ELL. BC. There's no word that is ELL. It's just all ELL. Useless. So I can't find anything at the moment that suggests that. I'm expecting just after 11:10, I think we'll be landing. Maybe closer to 15:15 by the time we've slowed down. Oh,
Hello, Captain. Would you like some coffee?
that was coffee again. I don't know, I don't want coffee or whatever. I wish you could say no, and then she went, oh, okay. A lot nicer. It's like, why can't I have a sandwich? I prefer a sandwich to coffee. You also offer a coffee, don't you? No, a sandwich. I suppose it's not tea. Like, I mean, I'd love it if you could go, like, into the options, and then it would send aircraft or flight or something, and you could literally select. It'd be lovely if you could select under checklist or sound or something. Like, I could select whether she wanted to ask me tea or coffee, like a preference, tea or coffee. That'd be great. Be quite funny, wouldn't it? Five nautical miles, and then we turn. How long is it actually until just 40 miles until the end of cruise? So I can set this down to 3,000 now. Because that's the little descent prep checklist thing that pops up to say it's almost time to descend, which is pretty mad that it's almost time to descend. We're only really halfway through the flight, so. By the time I actually descend, it won't be halfway through the flight, but yeah. Oh, 70 miles to the start of the star, and then once we reach the start of the star, should I set it to 20 maybe? 10, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 8, 5. Yeah, I think setting it to 20 and then 10, like I did last time, will work. But for now, we'll keep it on 40. We're going a little bit faster now because we've turned, look, and ETA's gone back to 11:01. Also, that ETA, I've got to remember as well, that ETA is going direct. So if I look right now, this thinks I have 107 miles to go. But I actually have 149 miles to go. What does this aircraft say then? Half hour. It's not half. This is saying I have 13 minutes. From now in the sim is. This is saying I have 23 minutes left. Which sounds a bit better, really. That makes more sense. Because 23 minutes from now is, in the sim, 53 minutes into the flight. No, 50 minutes into the flight. Which is exactly how long this game will take. So I reckon at least 10 past 11, if not quarter past, by the time we actually land. Because I do forget that ETA is going direct, so it's not accurate. Miles till descent. It's not far. It's not, this. Because I think we are descending a bit early. No, maybe only 15 miles early. It's not a lot, but it is about 15 miles, I'd say, early. Because obviously, when we get further into the arrival process, we do need to after Stiff and Kane and Lax, all these, you have to stay under a certain altitude. Then we're going to have to stay at 4,000 for quite some time as well. So it's going to be interesting, that. This has been a very nice route, though, to and from on this route. It's been very nice. We've literally the whole stream. We've been following the coast up and down. It's quite nice. I like it. How long have I actually been playing? I've been playing it age, haven't I? 188 minutes. Look at that. I've been playing it quite a bit. I've got 500 hours logged on this. That's a lot. 500 hours. Oh, there's the descent prep checklist.
Seatbelt signs.
Auto.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Landing information.
Received.
Altimeter.
Standard.
Error radio.
Checked.
Checklist complete.
So I just need to initiate descent now, which will not be for another, 8 miles, and I'm not going to start talking about how many people are viewing the stream or anything. I can't remember what I was talking about last time, but whatever it was that distracted me from initiating descent, that's not going to happen this time. Hopefully not. Anyway, right, actually at Pacific, that's when I'll turn on my tablet. The plane's pointing slightly upwards, isn't that? A few screenshots as usual before initiating the descent. We're not going to miss it this time.
Initiating descent.
Oh, slightly early. It's perfect in the end.
Radar tilt.
Set below.
And that's it. So I would say about 15 miles early, that's obviously because of the restrictions. So according to this, our first proper restriction is not until 14,000. This thinks the restriction at Pacific is not going to be a problem, and it'll go right through it. I guess the plane knows that. And I'll set this into 20 now. Our ETA is still saying 11:01. As I start to pass the airport, that will obviously start slipping, and I'll get a better idea of what my actual ETA is. I reckon it is somewhere around 11:15. I think about 11:15. Maybe somewhere between 11:10 and 11:15. Maybe on the later side of that will be the time we arrive. Which will be good, because that'll make the stream pretty much exactly on the 3-hour mark. Because we started about 8:34. I was slightly late today. Only by about, well, 2 to 4 minutes, somewhere around there. I do enjoy streaming. It's fun. I mean, this is what I like about YouTube streaming though. This will go up as a video after this, like, forever. People can just watch it. It's cool. Just see this plane go down, and as we slow down, my ETA just, like, drops. It's like, oh. Oh. Oh well. I don't know what my game's thinking about. I just saw the little circle that pops up on your mouse when your computer's thinking. What are you thinking about, little mouse? So 10 nautical miles to Pacific. Let's fire up the tablet and get it onto the charts. There it is. Doesn't look like the above 20,000. I don't think it'll be a problem. It might be. Hopefully we'll get less turbulence around the LA area. Unlike the departure. I take far too many screenshots on this game. So all I do is take screenshots. Like, in all the views. Oh, what did I just press? I just pressed something then. I don't know what it was. Well, nothing's flashed up on here. And nothing's changed, so I don't think it was important. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm just really hoping that wasn't important. Was it something down here that I changed? I don't know, it obviously wasn't that big, was it? Oh, there you go. Yeah, the above 20,000 thing obviously wasn't a big deal for this plane, as it said. Well, not said, it implied, I guess, maybe. By looking at that down there. Crane is the next waypoint. This is when my ETA just starts falling now, because we're starting to head away from the airport. Really? Well, the airport's over there, so because we're doing a big loop around and then to land. Because we have to land on runway 30. So there's 20,000, look, we're passing, and I meant to pass that earlier, so we're good. In terms of restrictions, that's crane done. But it needs to be between 14,000 and 13,000 after SIP. What's that one called? Tandy. That's it. And at 18,000, that's the seatbelt signs being turned on. We're not there yet, but we're almost there. Currently at 19,000 feet, so it is. We're now in that area of turning on the seatbelt signs, which I will do once that's gone to the QNH has changed. Basically, let's just do it now before the QNH changes. So that should be everyone with their seatbelts on. Well, hopefully. Gotta hope that.
Transition altitude.
Did some like low cloud just load in then?
Checked. 1013.
1013. Checked.
Oh, this plane. Why'd they just turn the land? They just turned the landing system on. It's a bit early for the landing system, but okay. If they want it turned on now, I guess. And we are going to need to hold at 14,000 here, aren't we? I think. How far is it now then? 61 miles. Not bad. Not far now. That's Long Beach, right? That's Long Beach. There. So we've just passed the airport. That's where my ETA is going to start just freaking out now. It's going to be like, you've passed the airport, no! And then it just keeps adding minutes constantly. It's never going to go down, that ETA. Because at the moment it thinks I'm going the wrong way. Obviously I'm not going the wrong way. Actually, is that... That might be LAX. Because when I go to the tower view, it switches me to LAX. But looking at the chart, though, it does look quite like it would be. Actually, it is, isn't it? Because looking at this chart, it is literally just about. Actually, no, that might be it. And that is LAX, I think. That's definitely LAX then. And we're obviously not flying into there. So this now says 4,000, look. That's the next waypoint to stop us. Right, I'm just going to set this to 10 nautical miles now, because the waypoints are getting a little bit closer together. I just found something really hilarious on my airport. On the arrival chart, it says in the bottom right hand corner, note, chart not to scale. Yeah. Well, the plane is bigger than the piece of paper that would be printed on. It's obviously not to scale. That's actually quite funny. That's a joke. Did I just sense some turbulence then? Or no, not. I thought I might have sensed some turbulence, but no. There's a turn, look. So this is where we're starting to head back towards the airport. This is now saying 11:07 is our ETA. How far is it now? 45 miles, not far at all. We are starting to slow down now though. Remember, slow down until the throttle starts coming up, and then when it starts doing that, you can spot it quite early. Oh, creeping up, and that's it. And this thing, there you go, this thing is now picking up the ILS, look. LGB being the code for the airport. It's a 3-letter code. Is there an airport on that island? Doesn't go any further across, unfortunately, the view. There is one, I can see it. There you go, that's better. Have to be below 9,000. We are just below it. Like, just below. Medium water brakes are on. Right, now that's sorted, I'm going to go over to the airport diagram, because I know what's going on here with this arrival now. Kane being the next on the list, and this is not loading the airport diagram. Nice. Please load the diagram. Be nice, lovely. It's unbelievable. Right, airport diagram. Yeah, we got it. Cool. It's actually really slow sometimes, ChartFox, for no apparent reason. On my tablet, anyway. Could be the internet connection, could just be the tablet. It's quite an old tablet from what I remember, so it's probably the tablet. 11:09 is now our ETA, so I'm more in the boat of thinking 11:15 is our ETA. And we are slightly off course there. I need to try and get it back. That's better. Because this thing is taking the below sort of restrictions very literally. Like, it says below 7,000, we literally are at 7,000. How far is it now? I can't be that far. 30 miles. Nope, not far at all. And we'll land on runway 30. Vacate. I'm probably not going to make Golf. I'll try vacate maybe Bravo or Alpha. Alpha's right at the end. Because the problem with this runway, it goes diagonal to the rest of the airport, which is a bit confusing. And also, we don't have GSX. That's kind of expected, isn't it? Because it crashed, like, just after taking off on the first flight of the day. Never mind all the others we had to do. Well, this is only the second, and it is the last one. But, yeah. Unbelievable. Approach checklist starting 4 miles. Not long then. Because we are quite low, like, for being 25 miles out still. Or maybe just right, I don't know. It's picked up the glide slope of the ILS. I don't exactly know how, because the ILS is not really starting yet. We're facing completely the wrong direction for the ILS, but whatever. Yeah, 11:15 sounds good. It's going to be longer than 50 minutes, this flight. It's going to be more like 55 minutes, like the other one. Albus is the next waypoint, and we have to be at 4,000. So this thing, once it descends and then at Escort, we have to be above 4,000. So I know we're staying at 4,000 for a good amount of time. The evidence is there. The plane is speeding. Is that the sun? If it is the sun, I don't know why it's been what? Seriously, why? Why is it pink? It's like red. Don't know what it is. Weird.
1013.
1013. Checked. Checklist complete.
Flight attendants, prepare for landing.
Yeah, 11:12 is now staying our ETA. So it might even be gone. It might be gone quarter past. It might be more like 20 past 11 at this rate. How far is it? It's only 17 miles. Not long. And we now need to stay at 4,000 for a little bit here. This thing's just hit the decel point somehow. Right, I'm going direct to Lucid because this seems to be messing up. Oh, never mind, it's fine, it's sorted itself out. It seems to be messing itself up, that, but it seems to have sorted it out, so we're fine. That's the turbulence there. We always get turbulence on the approach to Long Beach. I've discovered that today. I need drag. It's moaning at me now because this plane is behaving weirdly.
Flap 3.
No, I only want on the first level of flaps. I don't want any more yet. We are now turning into the airport, and I want to disconnect pretty much straight away on the autopilot because it's not going any lower than 3,000.
Autopilot off.
Localizer alive.
No, not. I want the gate. I want the. Yeah, that's the one. Press the wrong button then. Rep. Right, we're on course for landing now. That's flaps 2. Enough for now, that. Landing speed's 133. Pretty average, isn't that? And we actually have a localizer and a glide slope, which is cool.
Glide slope alive.
Okay, full flaps. Slows down. On course for landing.
$2,500.
I'm not descending this plane enough, am I? Right, I want the gear down now. That'll help slow us down.
Gear
down.
If I rush the descent
Landing
now,
checklist.
it'll be a bit better.
landing gear.
Down and locked, 3 greens.
Ground spoilers.
Checked and armed.
Auto brakes.
Medium.
Exterior lights.
On.
Go around altitude.
Checked.
Landing memo.
Checked, no blue.
Checklist complete.
Well, that's better, and the plane can start slowing down now. Because I've caught up with the glide slope. I'm looking quite good for a steady-ish approach, and it is 11:13, so 11:15 arrival is good. So it looks like my what I thought was quite good. Idle the plane now to try and lose a bit of speed. This plane's on for a good landing. Power up the plane a little bit there. Try and stop it from going down so much.
$400.
I'll try and get a good landing again.
300.
It'd be nice if I could get that.
200.
Continue.
There's
100.
minimums and
70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard.
Ground spoilers.
minus 306.
Reverse screen.
Not quite the butter of last flight, but it's pretty good.
70 knots.
Manual brakes.
Auto brakes off.
And after 54 minutes, it is 11:15, so bang on. Hello everybody and welcome to Long Beach. And that's golf. Nice. We've slowed down fairly quickly there.
After landing checklist.
Exterior lights.
Checked.
Ground spoilers.
Checked retracted.
Engine mode selector.
Checked normal.
Flaps.
Checked standby.
Brake temperature.
Checked.
APU.
On.
Checklist complete.
And that's it. Hello everybody and welcome to Long Beach. Today's flight time 54 minutes. Pretty good. And it's 11:15, so exact for me that was. Bit of a rough touchdown, not as bad as some of the ones I've done. Minus 300, it's alright. So let's have a look at where we're on the park. Are there any jet bridges? Doesn't look like there are here. So I'm just going to go ahead and park it at whatever stand is in front of me. Right, let's power this plane up a little bit. And that's it. That is the second flight of today finished. We are back in Long Beach where we started our day. In this lovely A320, we've gone to San Jose and back in just 2 hours and 45 minutes. Not bad at all. With the help of my 2 monitors and my tablet. So that's good. Getting the chart up on the tablet's great though, because it means I can have the OBS and ProjectFly up on the second monitor. Right, it doesn't look like there's any jetways, is there? So let's just pull in on this stand here. Who knows? I think one of these was the stand I was on earlier. Not this exact one, but one similar to this. Right, nose cam is active. How to get the best parking in the world? You use nose cam. There you go. Park at the first lot. Right, off and off.
And the parking checklist.
Parking brake and chocks.
Chocks are set. Parking brakes released.
Engine master.
Both off.
Seatbelt signs.
Set off.
Beacon lights.
Set off.
Exterior lights.
Set off.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Fuel pumps.
Set off.
Checklist complete.
Pretend there's a jetway there. It's the invisible jetway. And we will get the cones and external power, because this thing is not on a short turnaround unlike earlier. And that's us on external power. Right, let's go ahead and fully turn off the plane now. So I need to look for there's the batteries. And that's the plane off. Cold and dark. And thank you everybody for joining the stream. There's actually no one who's watching, but whatever. Thank you so much for watching. Well, actually they'll be watching as a viewer later on. Thanks, from me and this perfect parking. Where's Santa when you need him? There he is. Hello, Santa. It's not Christmas time. Go away. I was mean to Santa. I'm on his naughty list now. I'm on his naughty list. Oh dear. Oh well. And I think leave it with that. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next stream. Bye bye.